Stop chasing. Look, it's Marcel, aka Honey Bunny Sunny, and you know I'm on a mission to make you some money. Listen, welcome. Y'all get on in here, man. Y'all come on in here. Y'all come on in here, because it's a lot of money to be made this week. Y'all come on in here. This is what I want you to do when you first come in here. Just do this for me. Take this finger right here, right? You see this? And just doop, hit the like button, right? That's all you doop. Real easy. Don't play gatekeeper on the likes. All right? We not playing no gatekeeper on the information over here. Please do not gatekeep the likes. All right? That's the one thing that I ask when you come in here. Just automatically, when you see my face, just automatically, I'm gonna throw him a like, because what he's saying needs to get out there, obviously. All right? Y'all welcome. How y'all feeling today? How y'all feeling today? Y'all get on in here. Y'all get on in here. It's Sunday, or I'm sorry, it's Monday, but we're doing like the Sunday watch list, like what I'm looking for this week. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. How y'all feeling? Let me know where y'all chiming in from. Again, once you come in here, just hit doop, right? Just doop. Hit the like button. No gatekeeping the like button, all right? So today I want to talk to y'all about the 3 stocks that I'm watching for the week. I'll also take some time for you guys to tell me what you may be seeing in the market and what you may need me to analyze. All right, no problem there. All right, let's see who we got up in here, man. Y'all let me know who in here. Okay, we got Adam in the building. What's going on, Adam? QTZ. Hey, look, QTZ went crazy with the push-ups earlier, man. Who we got in here? Liz, how you feeling, Liz? Good to see you. Kenny, what's going on, fam? All right. Yeah, y'all climb on in this thing, man. We got the juice fast starting tomorrow. Some people started today. I'm gonna be dropping a video a little bit later in the Prosperity Collective, just kind of like showing y'all some behind the scenes on how I was prepping my juices and stuff like that for the week. But yeah, this week is 3 days juice, and then we go 2 days raw vegan food. All right. So I dropped the book. A homegirl of mine, my friend Stacy, is a chef, so she put the book together. It's downloadable. It's in the group. You can download it, and you have all the juice recipes and the raw food recipes to make sure you have everything you need. All right. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into who else in here. Hold on. Jade, is that Jade? Jade, is that you? What's up, Jade? How you feeling? 0DTE. Darrell, what's going on, brother? How y'all feeling, man? Y'all go ahead, as y'all come in here, just go ahead and hit that like button, all right? This is going to be a really good one. Today, I see some really good opportunities. Let me preface this by saying it looks like the market does want to come down. I'm not sure, if you're in the group, you saw, I think Nara just posted it actually, but I was seeing it a little bit earlier, like the Dow was expected to come down 300. So that right there, just, whatever your watch list was, that right there is kind of telling you what the sentiment should be. Now, will news like that come out and then they possibly play with us? That's possible too, right? But the downside is looking like what is going to be the earlier part of the week. Even technicals is showing that. So it's not even too much of a surprise, like with this news coming at this time. But it can create some really good opportunities to the downside, and it can also create even better opportunities to scoop up some bounces and possibly even some leaps, depending on how far we come down. All right, y'all keep on climbing in here, man. Like again, heart this up. Let's get as many likes as we can on this. That's really important. What I'm finding out. Liz said, "I hope so." So Liz, are you currently in some puts? You in some puts? Yeah, if you in some puts, you're gonna want to see this. All right. So I'm gonna get into it in just a second. So the three that I have on my watch list are AMD. I got AMD on the watch list. I got Amazon, and I also have Apple. Right. So those are the 3 main watches for me. Right. And I'm gonna break this down ultra simple. Right. I want y'all to be able to walk away from any of these lives knowing exactly what the move is on the stocks that I'm calling. Okay, exactly what you need to do, exactly the levels you need to watch for. There's no fluff in here. There's no, there's no paywall. This is just free game. And if you decide to use it, you decide to use it. All right. So let's jump into the charts. All right. Let's jump into the charts. All right. Let's see what we got. All right. All right. So we got Amazon pulled up. We'll start with Amazon. We'll start with Amazon. Okay. So this is really simple, y'all. Really simple. Again, I'm going to give you the upside and downside scenario. I think it's important that you understand exactly what to do if it goes up and exactly how to play it if it goes down, because that's literally always what can happen in the market. Even when technicals are there, there's usually an upside and a downside scenario. So I'm going to give you both. All right. Now, my bias is currently sitting in the upside with Amazon. But again, we quickly change biases if the market decides that it wants to shift. So if you look at this from last week, we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 attempts last week to break the downside, to break the mean or the center part of the Bollinger Band, right? It's currently sitting in an order block, a bullish order block. We got 3 bounces off that. 1, 2, 3, right? The last one pushed up, pretty significantly. However, it still didn't break the previous candle high. It formed a doji, which is an indecision candle, as you all know, right? So we got the indecision candle showing that it could go either up or down. Now, to the upside, what I'm going to be looking for is a clearing of this candle right here at 241. Okay, write that level down. 241 to the upside on Amazon for a close. Each of these options plays that I'm giving you guys, the time frame is expiration date on the weekly to 3 weeks out. Okay, everything that I'm giving you today is on the weekly to 3 weeks out. So you can swing it. You can enter it for Friday's expiration all the way up to 3 weeks out. Okay, obviously the further out is going to be a little less profit, but also a little less risk at the same time. So that's where it kind of balances out. All right. So if we can get a close on the daily above 241, then the target will be the swing high, which is 249. Okay. And as you all know, as we talked about in the group, if the target is 249, obviously you'll have a lot more profit before 249. So you can start peeling off as you wish. Obviously, if you have a shorter expiration date and there's some sort of rejection or something like that, or you see some sort of selling pressure coming in, then you can just go ahead and just get completely out of that, right? Or scale out however you want to do it. All right. Now, the downside scenario, let's switch to the weekly on this, because here's what I'm saying on the weekly, right? On the weekly, we have a fail to up. So what that means is that it failed the upside and came down. It closed lower than what it opened on the week, and it could potentially be wanting to come down to this 227, right? That would be the first level of resistance on the weekly. However, we do know that there are lower time frames with closer resistance. If we do open below 236 or we close below 236 on the daily, then that activates this weekly reversal, right? We still have the whole week for a confirmation, but again, when you have a setup on the weekly, a lot of times you have an opportunity to make money into the confirmation, right? So if it's going to confirm a lower low and a lower high, we have an opportunity to make money into the confirmation. Breaking the weekly low would signal continuation. Okay, so a break below 236 on the daily and a close, I would be very interested in puts on Amazon. All right, how does that sound for y'all so far? How's that sounding for y'all so far? Good, good, good. You said, Liz, I hope so. So you're in our Carvana puts, Liz? Nice. You said check Palantir to the downside. All right. I'm gonna add Palantir. I'm also gonna look at I'm gonna look at Carvana for you too, Liz. We can analyze that. So we got Palantir and Carvana added to the list. Be sure to just throw your throw whatever you want to see in the chat. I'm about to get back to the charts. All right. So that's Amazon. Now let's head over to Apple. Apple has a really nice setup actually. All right. Let's go to Apple. All right. So this is another thing that we talked about on live, y'all. Really simple. Like, listen, I'm gonna make this as simple as possible for y'all. Okay. We talked about this last week on live, right? We talked about Apple. I did the breakdown of the bear flag, which you see right here, right? And since this is already broken out, we can now move this to here because it broke out the flag here. So we'll move the measured move to right about there. All right. So let me just make sure that it's okay. Yep, right about there. All right. And again, y'all, this measured move was literally just the distance down that it came before bouncing up and forming the bear flag. And then it got the break out of the bear flag just like we called it. It got the break out of the bear flag. So this is the confirmation to the downside. We should see Apple come down pretty significantly this week, especially if they're talking about the Dow slipping, right? If we see SPY slip, right, we should see a significant drop in Apple. Now, of course, I just want to see, I'm going to be intraday trading this tomorrow for sure. I'm definitely going to be trading Apple tomorrow, like during the day. But on a swinging tip, right, what we need to see is, just a close, a lower low, a lower low and a lower high, just closing below this continuation, right? This has room all the way down to 230, 236, right? But that's the distant target. We also have a closer target, which is right what it's getting ready to break into right now, which is this gap right here. Y'all see that? Y'all see this gap right here? Let me know if y'all see that gap right there. Okay? This is the gap that Apple is inevitably going to fill, right? We may go do this tomorrow. We may do this tomorrow because of all the news coming in. It may gap down, which could create a situation where we have to gap back up or bounce at some point this week before coming down. But this is why it's important to see what the first day of the week does, because sometimes you'll get a big move because of news or something like that. Even though it's going in the right direction, it may go in that right direction like too quickly because it's looking to make a longer move in that direction. But because of excitement, it just, you're excited, you just move too fast. That creates, mistakes. That creates little holes or gaps in the market that have to be corrected, and usually they're corrected immediately. And that's when you'll finally see us come down here. So the first target for Apple is going to be right about 253, 253.50. That's my first target for Apple. All right. And then the next target would be 247. Make sure y'all writing this down. So 253.50, 247.50 is target 2, and the final target is down here at 236, right? 253.50, 244.50, and then 236. Those are my 3 targets for Apple. All right? Y'all write those down. And again, as you're, I will be calling it and updating the, the targets and, just based off of price action during the week. But in terms of weekly targets, like I said, if we get continuation, meaning we break below this and we go and fill this gap, there's no resistance until 245.50, right? I said 244.50 before, 245.50. There's no resistance until there. All right. And then we break through that, then, the next target is down to 236, right? Obviously, the order block right here is where it's going to start to slow down. But I believe we break through that. If you catch it down to this level, then obviously you can start selling before the 236. I'm never telling you guys to hold on all the way to a target, right? A target is just to kind of guide us, but you base your take profit based off of your risk analysis, your rules, and just how much you need to make for the week, right? You don't have to catch it all, especially if it's not falling rapidly. Like if you see it hesitating, you know what I mean? You see a lot of resistance, never let a green trade go red, right? Go ahead and get out of there. So that's Apple. In the unlikely case that we do reverse and it's wanting to bounce at this level here, I would need to see a break above 260, let's say 263. I would need to see a close above 263 to even slightly consider taking the upside on Apple. This is a very, 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 very bearish setup. And for me to even consider it, it definitely got to be a close above 263. And then even with a close above 263, we still got this baby right here. So it's very likely that we will see significant upside on Apple this week. Very unlikely. Like, I'm not saying it can't happen, but very unlikely. So this is what you want to watch for, this downside. We got the break out of the, the bear flag confirmation to the downside. We just catching the continuation and the momentum, riding the momentum. And in the very unlikely chance that it pops up here to 263, then, we'll have another conversation. Again, I'm here live every day, 11:30 PST, 2:30 Eastern, right? Letting y'all know the levels. So there's no way you can't win. I'm telling you what I'm doing and what I'm taking. I'm making money every day. If you follow this, you will make money every day. Simple. If you apply this to what you're looking at and you want to do your own plays, you will make money. Simple. All right? All right, what y'all talking about? Best Beezy, what up, man? Said I'm watching you on my TV now. Sorry for that. Oh, hey, it's all good, Liz. I like to be on the big screen. You know what I mean? No, I'm kidding. But look, who else we got in here? 244, 247. Yeah. Yep. Fingers crossed it doesn't gap down. Yeah. Yeah, we going hey Adam, we're gonna look at Palantir too. I know you like to look at Palantir. But yeah, it's I mean, we'll probably fall pretty significantly. So if you guys are holding puts, then we'll see. If you holding calls, I don't know about tomorrow. If you holding calls, I don't know about tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna just say that. All right, so we got Amazon checked off, Apple checked off, We're gonna go to AMD with it. We're gonna go to AMD. AMD, again, two pretty cool scenarios. I will say, like, they're the upside scenario and the downside scenario. I would, if it either way it went, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna show you why. All right. Either way it goes, it makes sense. So this is AMD on the daily, right? What did I tell you guys about the hammers? Again, we're gonna be interactive because I need y'all to understand this, because I need y'all to start implementing this so y'all can consistently make money, right? When I see y'all, when we finally connect in person, I want y'all to be like, yo, this that I'm driving right now, I got that because of these plays, right? I want to hear y'all stories. All right, so let me jump over to the chat real quick. What did I say about these hammers right here? What does this mean at the end of an up move? Let's see who's been listening. What does the hammer mean? What does this right here mean at the end of an up move? The chat should be flooded right now. What does that mean? When you see the reversal hammer, when you see this right here, right? You see this right here, what does that mean? It is important for y'all to understand this, because once we get on here and y'all able to tell me this with no problem, right? Then y'all gonna be cooking. I'm trying to tell you. I'm jumping back to the chat. What y'all talking about? Coming down. There we go. Reversal, right? All right, so let's break this down. All right, I'm gonna make it real simple for y'all to understand. Friday, AMD was like, I can't go no more. It pushed down. It's like I can't do it. It pushed down. It formed you could call this a hammer, right? Even though it has a very slim body, it's not necessarily a doji because of the amount of volume to the downside, the amount of selling pressure. It's still called a doji, but it takes on that of a reverse hammer. All right. The next day, it got a little bit of a pop. It still didn't come and exceed that high though. So it's an inside candle ready to come down. This is also a hammer that's taking place in an up move, which is another reversal signal. So we got essentially two reversal signals back to back, right? This is exhausted. Let's see if we can look at the volume. Volume came down a little bit too. All right. We should see this do a mean reversion down to about 215, right? That's one scenario, right? So this is what I'm going to be looking for, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all write this down, okay? Take your notes out. Listen, take your pen, take your notebook, and make sure you are writing these levels down. All right. We need to get a close below 220. I would say about 228.50, right? If we can get a bearish close below 228.50, that's going to open the door for swinging to the downside. Now, once we do that, there is no interruption until down here at this order block, right? Of course, we don't need it to come down $30 to make money, right? If we get that confirmation, right around there, right around that 228, right? We can ride it down to the mean. We can ride it down to 215. That target alone on the weeklies will probably get you about 60%, depending on when you enter. It will vary, right? Don't write the 60% down because it could vary. It could be more, it could be less, depending on when you enter. But again, we want to get a close with a lower low and a lower high. Tomorrow would be perfect. We don't want this to happen on Wednesday. We want to see this tomorrow so that when I get on live again tomorrow, I can be like, look, AMD did what it was supposed to do. It closed bearish. We're going to all swing it, right? And then we're going to eat like we did the last AMD play. All right? So when you get that, again, you could take 1 week expirations or 3 weeks. Falling somewhere in the middle is probably going to be the best scenario for you because we are starting off with not a full week. So anytime it's not a full week, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you losing a day. You might want to get something out, next week just to play it safe because it's always something weird on a week when it's not 5 full days. Okay, so keep that in mind too. So that's the downside scenario. Again, we get the closure down here below 228.50, right? So 228.50, 228. We get a bearish close below that level, and then we're going to be targeting 215, scaling out on the way down, right? Just depending on what our profits are looking like between Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, right? But again, we are going to come back on here and confirm all these plays that I'm going over again tomorrow to make sure that we got the confirmations that we needed to enter. So it's important, like I said, if you write in notes, like you can have a whole section in your notebook just like lives. So you can keep track of these plays that we're calling, and you're able to go and revisit them throughout the week to catch them. Like it might not be what you're looking at, but it may be a beautiful opportunity come tomorrow, come Wednesday. All right, so keep that in mind. Now, again, everything always has another scenario, right? This is what we're seeing on the technicals, but you just never know what the market may present. If we do get a pop, there is definitely some room to the upside. Yeah, it was pretty choppy coming down, but it definitely came down, no interruptions on the daily. So if we can get a break above highs, then this looks like it wants to go and retrace highs, which is right where all the institutional buyers are sitting. All right, so y'all write this level down right here, 238.50, right? If we somehow get a break above 238.50 and close, I will be looking to swing this to the upside for a retracement of highs around 260. Okay? Write those levels down. Get familiar with that. Also, y'all, if you're looking at this and you're new, welcome. Please, hit that like button. Please don't gatekeep the like button. All right? The like button is how y'all show me love. How I show y'all love is by giving y'all these plays. You feel me? So if you can hit the like button, no gatekeeping, just do. That's all. I'm going to say it until you do, hear it in your sleep. Do, until you hear it in your sleep. Do. Yeah, what they say, you got to say it like 10 times and then somebody hear it and they sleep. Do. Y'all going to wake up hearing that. My bad. I had to drive it home. Hit the like button. Do. All right, nothing. Okay. So we break above that. Again, we go into retest highs. If you guys are new and do not have this indicator right here where you can see these, this red right here and this green right here, I'm gonna briefly explain to you what it is and show you where to get it, and I'll definitely add it to your chart because it's going to help you out significantly. Okay, so when you see this green right here, for those who are new, this is a bullish order block. This means that there is a lot of buyers sitting in this area, particularly institutions, big money, smart money, and we all know that it is very intelligent to follow smart money, okay? So when you see this is where a decision is usually going to be made. Just look around. Decisions are made at these levels. This up here is a bearish order block, meaning there's a lot of institutional sellers, also smart money, saying that we no longer want this asset at this level. When it gets to this price, we think it's too expensive. We think it's overvalued. We're going to go ahead and take profits here. All right. So the way that you add that, the way that you get that on your chart is to go to indicator, right? Where is it? Where's indicator? Indicators. Where are you? Y'all point me where the indicator button is. Right here, right? Okay, right here. Click this button right here for indicators, metrics. See, it used to just say indicators. Now it's just a little icon. But you go right here and you just type in order block detector. All right? Order block detector by Lux Algo, right? Order block detector by Lux Algo. This one right here, 28.3K stars or likes, I'm guessing, favorites. But this one right here, y'all, this is the one y'all want. Add that to your chart. Is going to help you tremendously. If you are a new trader and all you do is use that indicator, that's going to put you ahead of so many people in terms of decision making. Even if you're only taking trades at that level and keeping a stop loss below that level, you are literally in better shape than a lot of people who are approaching the market in a totally different way from a statistical standpoint. All right. So that's that. Are y'all good with those levels? Y'all good with that indicator? Let me see what y'all talking about here. There we go. Okay. He said, "Be waking up, hit the like button." Listen. We try to listen. If you can get to a point where you wake up and hit the like button, you make that a part of your day. Listen, you're winning. Nah, but real talk. Hey, listen, you gotta drive it. You gotta drive it home. You say new here to the chat, but I see it falling. Awesome. Okay, Kenny. Nice. Yep. I know I'm super late on the chat, y'all. So don't mind me if I'm answering something that y'all already said. He said if we have time, Tesla and USAR. All right, I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna add it. So we got Tesla, USAR. Okay. Awesome. Order blocks. So do you have the order blocks? You understand the order blocks, Liz? Let me know before I move forward, because if not, I can do a brief review, because I definitely want y'all to get this. It's definitely important to understand this. All right. 244, 247 Apple. Yep. Got it. Yep, you got it forever free. There we go. You said does it bounce at the SEC at the SEC levels? You saying does it bounce at the order blocks? Yeah. So look at this, right? This is where the order block is, right? This was the first level, and then it appeared. The order block is going to appear on the second touch of something, right? So it came right here reverse. It came back, and it's like, okay, right? It won't always do it at the second level, but this is what institutions are usually waiting for, right? So when they see, okay, like this is a strong level, then you'll see that appear, right? And then when something breaks below this, you'll see it disappear. All right, but yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on the order off the order block, so it's definitely bouncing off of this level. So if it were to come back down here, it would probably want to break it because 1, 2, 3, 4, times. Usually it's like 1, 2, and then 3 is the strongest. 4 is pretty strong, but when something comes back like for a fifth time, it's like yo, I'm coming here. I'm coming for what's mine. I'm really trying to get through this. All right, you see something come down a fifth time and it bounce. If something come down a fifth time and it bounce, it's typically range bound. You know what I'm saying? So the sweet spot for a strong or high, a high probability bounce is like 3, the third touch, the fourth touch. But like 5 and 6, they trying to break through again unless it's range bound. All right. Does it cost for that indicator? Nope, not at all. That indicator is free. It's free. All right, I'll go over it briefly. All right, so again, y'all, this green block right here. Again, it's called the order block detector. All right, write that down. Order block detector by Lux Algo. You go right here to the indicators. You type it in. Order block detector right here. Order block detector, and then it says Lux Algo in brackets, okay? All right. So if you see a green one, that is institutions saying that this is a really good price for the security. They're saying that at this price, we want to buy, right? So there's a lot of orders that are sitting at this price point for when the stock comes back down here. The same is true for the upside, right? When you see a red one, that signals bearish. So that means that there's a lot of institutions and sellers here. A lot of people that believe that once it gets right here, we're ready to go ahead and cash out, take these profits, sell these assets off because it's too expensive at this point, right? And it's not permanent, right? The market moves in waves, so these will be adjusted up at some point. I'm pretty sure once the stock breaks through here and this becomes the support, then this will become a green order block. This will be where people see it as affordable, maybe in 6 months or so, right? So we just it just depends on on how the market moves. All right, good place to sell your contracts, absolutely, at that bearish order block. A really good place to sell your contracts. All right. If you guys are new, welcome. Again, I have a link in the description if you guys are looking for a trading home, okay? The Prosperity Collective is one of the best decisions that you may make of 2026. If you're looking for a place where there are like-minded individuals, people who are trading, making money, getting real profits in real time with jobs, entrepreneurs, freelancers, right? It's all taking place in the Prosperity Collective. The link is in the description of pretty much any video that I made on YouTube. So just make sure that you hit it if there's something that you are interested in joining. Okay? All right, let's get back to it. So we got AMD checked off. We got Amazon checked off. We got Apple checked off. Again, if you're watching this late, just go ahead and watch the review when it's post later to get all the levels that we went over, because it's going to be really critical in terms of you making profit this week. All right? Again, I'm keeping things very simple, showing you the levels, showing you exactly what you need to do to make money in the market this week. All right. We're gonna go to one of my old favorites. This Adam's favorite too. We got Palantir, man. All right. We got Palantir. We getting ready to pull up. Old Faithful. Old Faithful. Palantir dropped pretty significantly on Friday, right? It dropped pretty significantly on Friday, but guess what? It is in a bullish order block. Okay, this particular order block was pretty, was pretty large, right? Top of it was about 174. The bottom is 166, right? So we talking about like an $8 gap, right? An $8 range for orders. We do have a very bearish candle that on Friday we did close very bearish, but we also are approaching the tip of the Bollinger Band, like the lower extreme of the Bollinger Band, which, like I tell you guys all the time, is also where a lot of decisions are being made. The Bollinger Bands are a volume-based indicator, right? And it's showing the levels at which the stock, the stock price moves over time. So, excuse me, when you see a stock get to one of these extremes, it typically wants to reverse, like you see, right? Notice everything that you need to know about a stock, all you got to do is look to the left, and it's going to tell you. Look to the left of the chart. It's going to tell you what's going on, all right? So since this is, the lower extreme of the Bollinger Band and in the order block, it looks like we could possibly come down here before we start to see the majority of those orders setting in, right? Before we see these sellers get exhausted, the ones that started up here, before we see them get completely exhausted, right around here. Now, again, the tariffs, that news could kind of throw things off. We could see a scenario where we break below, right? The bearish scenario for me would be a break below lows. So if it breaks below this order block, and here's the key, write this down. If it breaks below this area of 166, 166.50, it needs to close significantly below it in order for me to be interested in it to the downside to take it down to this next order block around 150, right? That will be the next target, but it has to break significantly. We're not talking about like a little puny close. We're talking about like, you want to see it somewhere around like 163, somewhere in that area, right? If I see that down there, then I'd be interested in taking swings to the downside. But the more likely scenario for the week, even if things start off a little rocky tomorrow, is that we get some sort of bounce here. So I'll be waiting to see if we get like a solid reversal signal. I wouldn't be surprised if on the news and the excitement and all of that stuff, we dropped slightly below this bullish order block, and then we came back up and then formed like a failed two up. I'm sorry, a failed two down, right? If we formed a failed two down, to me, that would be a very strong reversal signal, and I would possibly take it at the end of the day tomorrow. I'll make that decision tomorrow. It depends on exactly, what the price action is like. And if I do, then I will be targeting just a retracement to this high right here, 182. All right, that would be my target. Obviously taking off profits along the way. Or I may possibly decide to wait for the confirmation because we have this whole tariff thing and maybe a reversal may not be the full story. Maybe we may need to see something else, right? You know what? That just made me think about something. We got Intel and Netflix got earnings. Intel got earnings, I think, on Thursday, and then Netflix has earnings tomorrow, I believe. So I may look at that depending on how much time I got. But yeah, so yeah, that is Palantir. Of course, if we break above this level right here, that's when I would be interested in calls. So I need to see it above 182.50, a close above that. Another scenario, this is just me kind of like predicting possible reversal patterns. So if it's not the failed two down pattern, it's possible that this candlestick right here is followed by an inside candle that creates a small body right in this little range between like 176 and like 174, which would be a perfect setup to the upside. Y'all remember when we had the bullish harami last time? Bullish haramis, bullish, engulfings, they have the same explosive nature. So we could have that happen tomorrow, right? It could gap up tomorrow, and then we could see an inside candle form right here to make these two candles become a bullish harami, right? So again, it's too early to say exactly what will happen. Those are my two predictions, that it could be either a failed two down reversal or a bullish harami. If we're talking about reversing to the upside. If not, and it breaks down below here again, we could be in a totally different territory, and possibly heading down for much lower levels. All right, so that's Palantir. Again, make sure y'all have those levels written down so that when you see it, you can take advantage of it. All right, let's go look at Carvana. We got some solid picks in here today. Is that what that making sense for y'all? You say what's the upside price targets for Palantir? The upside price target for Palantir. Hold on. It would just be like I said. It needs to break above that 182.50, 183. So the high, a retracement to the high would be targets. But let me give you the exact. Um, let me give you those exact levels. So again, if we can break above here 182.50, first target. First target about 186, right? It can close and break above that. Next target is 196, right? Again, if you're in a swing for this, you can be peeling off contracts, as we're approaching each target, right? The majority of your contracts come off on that first target. Second target, you take more off, but obviously, like I said, the biggest amount of contracts you take profit on at the first target. Second target is going to be, maybe like a few more. It all just depends on how many you have. If you just have one, then you want to take it off at the first target. Because what can happen is it could reverse on you, and then you can wind up, going from being in profit one day to being in the red, and then you running out of time essentially. All right, so those are the levels on Palantir. All right, now Carvana. Yeah, this is gonna be good, yo. It's gonna be a good week. It's a lot of like really good setups that are forming, and I definitely want to make sure that y'all get those. All right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Carvana came down and confirmed yesterday. Yeah, this looks good, Liz. This looks really good. So this is what happened. I mean, as you probably already know, it came up and it reversed in this bearish order block, right? Friday we got the confirmation here, right? It is sitting at the mean though. It is resting at the mean, but it's coming through with a lot of volume, right? It's coming through with a lot of selling pressure. So we should blow right through this. It's not looking like it wants to bounce right here, especially with the news of the tariffs, right? We should see more downward momentum. So the way I would play this would be first target 433, peel off some contracts. Next target would be, let me bring this down. Next target would be the tip of this Bollinger Band right here, about 410, 411, right? So we go 433, 411, right? Again, this is something like if you're in it on the weeklies, take profit sooner. If you have it out a little bit further, then you can afford to take it down here. But if it's just on the weeklies, It's no telling we could get a bounce right here at that first target. All right, so you always want to keep in mind like where you can run into traffic. Also, drop down time frames if you want to see, more levels. There's going to be less levels on the higher the time frames, the less levels. The lower the time frames, the more levels. So if you want to calculate an exact profit or take profit area, just drop down on the time frames. All right. And then of course, like in the unlikely scenario that it does go up, it would need to just break highs for a breakout. Closure above 486 for Carvana. All right. Simple. All right, let's go Tesla. Who's going to have their biggest week this week? Drop it in the comments. Drop a me in the comments if you're going to have your biggest week this week. Drop a me right now in the comments if this is going to be your biggest week. If you're just getting on this live, also hit me with a doop. Don't gatekeep the likes, y'all. Hit me with a like. Hit me with a like. D, what's going on? How you feeling? Absolutely, you are very welcome. What do you think of the spread on Carvana? What's the spreads looking like? Darrell, enlighten me. Is it pretty wide? Let me know what the pricing is. I haven't looked at it. There we go. You already know, Denise. There we go. Yeah, LaRue, I see you. Hey, LaRue, how's that fast going so far? I got a little video I'm gonna drop for y'all in the group. All right, I got a little video I'm gonna drop for y'all in the group of me prepping for the juice fast, for the juice cleanse, I should say. There we go. Yeah, Best B, I see you. Yeah, there we go. T Nicole, there we go. Yeah. Yep. I love it. It's gonna be y'all biggest week for sure. You gotta say it first. I know sometimes we underestimate the power of the tongue, the power of our words. But I promise you, I'm gonna give y'all a little story, right? So, y'all know I run, I'm co-founder of Prosperity Collective. I run a watch company. I do a few things like outside of investing. And I'm doing a lot of things that require like more of me, right? It's like just when I feel like I can get a little comfortable, it's always something that require a little bit more of me, right? And sometimes things can look bleak. Sometimes it can look like, it's not getting ready to go your way. And I've noticed that there is an energy that you can get pulled into when you are not saying something, right? When you're not telling your day what to do, when you're not claiming it, like speaking over the day, like, yeah, this is how the day gonna go. When you're not doing that, you will find that it is very easy to slip into despair or like something seeming harder than what it necessarily is. But when the first thing that you do when you get up and decide to do something is like, yo, we gonna go do that. When I do that in the morning, I always have my biggest money day. Always have every big money day when I made $10, $20, $30, $40,000. It was on a day when I was like, yup, today, it's gonna happen today. So we gotta start making that an integral part of our routines and saying what you're gonna go do so that energy is out there for you to receive, all right? I just wanted to drop that on y'all, all right? We're gonna get back to these charts. All right, we're gonna go Tesla. Can y'all see that? All right. So Tesla, again, another thing that we talked about last week. This is how I like the phrase Tesla, right? Did it work out exactly how it was supposed to, the way we wanted it to? No. We got beat up by Theta. Theta bullied us. You know what I'm saying? The time frame, we didn't have enough time on the contracts. Theta was like, yeah, fuck y'all. You know what I mean? Right? Excuse my language if your kids are watching. Theta was like, no. You know what I'm saying? So It's still, if you see right here, it's still sitting outside of the bear flag though, right? It still failed. It still went in the direction that we wanted to go in, just didn't do it fast enough and with enough, with enough force. I do believe that this is the week that it comes down. It's still, the structure is still there. There's nothing saying that, hey, this is going to go up. Now, of course, it can pop, but again, with the news that the Dow is coming down, possibly SPY, and all of that stuff slipping, we may see that move that we were supposed to get fully last week. We might get that retracement down to the swing low, right? So what I would like to see is some momentum. You know what I mean? Like if we can get a closure with a lower low, and not just a lower low than this previous candle. I want to see this candle get taken out right here, right? This 434.29 specifically. If we can close below that, then we can start to target write this down, 424.50 for the first target, right? That's the first target. For 22.50 would be next. And then from there we could come all the way into the territory of the measured move, right? So again, y'all know I'm always drawing the distance that a flag pole is and attaching that to the breakout point. So with this distance right here attached to the breakout point of the bear flag, it looks like Tesla could come down into the 300s, right? How soon? We can never know. We just have to see what the price action is on the week. So again, the first thing that I would be focused on before we even start to, get excited about this area down here would just be clearing out this that little 2 level right there, right around 430. Let me give y'all the exact level again. Right around 434-ish, 434.29, right? That's about, I think that's the level I said, 434.29. We get a close below that, then, again, I'm going to be right back on here tomorrow with all of the confirmations that I'm looking for these Sunday setups. So tomorrow, again, at 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern, I'll be back just talking about, what confirmed on what we were calling. Again, y'all remember I drew these shoulders. This the left shoulder, this the right shoulder, that's the head, and then this is the neckline right here. So this area down here, that comes into play when this neckline gets broken. So write this down for the neckline, y'all. 421.85. 421.85, 422. That little area, that's the neckline. Write that down and set alerts for that. When that gets breached, that is when you're going to see a massive drop down into this, into this bullish order block here. Again, there's always the opportunity that a setup gets blown up. This setup getting blown up, we need to see a break and close above 458, right? If it breaks above 458 and closes, then that is a blow up of this shoulder, right? That is a blown shoulder, meaning that is no longer there. That is also a blown bear flag, meaning that the downside is no longer there. All right, is that making sense to y'all? Y'all let me know if this is helpful. Again, if you are joining for the first time, welcome, all right? Do me a favor, don't gatekeep the likes. Hit the like button. That's all I need you to do. It's that simple. You could do it while you're listening, right? Like while I'm talking right now, you could do it. Like literally, right now. All right? I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the love y'all show on a consistent basis. I truly do. It's definitely going to be an extraordinary week. It's definitely going to be an extraordinary week for sure. You got that. Yep, Jade. Yep, internal narrative and speaking it into existence. It's an integral part of making shit happen. Miss Virgo, I see you. Yep. There we go. What up, Alchemist? How you feeling? There we go. I seen you on the push-up challenge, putting in the easy 50 like it wasn't nothing. Were you running a race today or something? It looked like it was some people out there. Where y'all do like a marathon, half marathon or something? 5K? There we go. There we go, Alex. All right, let's get back into it, y'all. All right. About to get back to school real quick. All right. So that's a scenario for Tesla. Again, my main focus to the downside is just we got to clear this baby out right here. We clear that baby out. Again, we're going to reconvene tomorrow and confirm. Again, if you're in the Prosperity Collective, you'll get the levels intraday, right? Sorry, guys, on YouTube, y'all only get the daily levels. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to have some way. We got to have some way to separate. You know, again, we don't gatekeep, but at the same time, you know what I mean? It costs. It costs. That's just what it is. So the next one is USAR, right? USAR. Let's go take a look at that. That made a lot of people some money this year, man. Y'all type in the chat if y'all made some money off USAR this year or last year. Rare earth. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all made money off of that. Also, let me know what y'all biggest money makers have been. What have been y'all biggest money makers this year? Like, type that in the comments as well. I'm curious to see. I'm so curious to see. Yep. What's been y'all biggest money maker 2025? All right. Okay. So USAR or USA Rare Earth it's in a range right now. I'm not a fan of it right now. Let me look at it on the weekly to see if my sentiment shift a little bit. Yeah, it had that run, right? This is obviously when everybody was talking about it in in October when it had this run, but there's nothing really exciting right now. Like we could be getting a repeat of earlier part of December. You see this fell 2 up, went up, reverse, came down. We got something similar here, right? Fell 2 down, up, fell 2 up, reverse. Fell 2 down, up, and then we got like a reversal signal right here. And we could spend the week coming down. So it's possible that it comes to the downside. Again, it's a doji, so it's an indecision candle. Let's see. Did it have any earnings? Yeah, earnings are not for 37 days. I don't see anything exciting on USAR, to be honest with you. It's also, like I said, it's consolidating, right? You see this up and down sideways movement in between the mean. Also, this is another thing I want y'all to, this is very important too, by the way. I'm glad this is actually a teachable moment. So the stocks are going to, make their way up and down between the top extreme of the Bollinger Band and the lower extreme of the Bollinger Band. So top of the Bollinger Band, low Bollinger Band, center Bollinger Band, right? When the Bollinger Band is squeezed like this, that means that it is consolidating. That means that there's nothing there for us to get into. But what it also means is that his next move will be his best move. I'm going to show you an example. What happened before this exploded? Wow, the same thing. You see that? This same thing was happening before it exploded. Came down and now it's back into consolidation. But what did it also do? It gave us the confirmation right here, right? Consolidation, breakout candle, confirmation, and then it really broke out, right? So with USA rare earth, all we got to do, y'all, specifically whoever asked about this one, all we got to do is just wait until we get a confirmation outside of this range. Really simple. That's something that you can apply to any stock. If something is range bound, meaning it's going up and hitting a level, coming down, hitting a level, going up, hitting a level, coming down, hitting a level, and it's doing that for an extended period of time, it is typically going to be an explosive move when it finally does decide to break out of that range, whether it's to the upside or whether it's to the downside. Take note of that. Remember that. That is a real easy way to make big money. So when we're making our plays on a consistent basis, right, we also like to find these plays that have rare opportunities. A consolidation on a good stock and then a breakout is a rare opportunity. People that were watching this consolidation and caught this breakout made a lot of money. So we just want to wait till it breaks out to the upside or the downside with a significant bullish or bearish closing, and then we could take moves on that, make moves on that. All right, so that's USA rare earth. All right, yeah, we done gone through about 7 stocks. All right, I'm gonna go to Intel. We on a roll. I'm gonna go to Intel. Intel has earnings this week. This is the reason that I want to cover it. That's the reason I want to cover it. All right, Intel. Intel looks like it. Oh yeah, Intel got a bearish confirmation. Intel got a bearish confirmation. Intel's earnings are when? Let's see. Friday, I believe. Yep, Friday. 3 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, Thursday then. So what they may try to do is drop it back down to the support level, right? It does have, like I said, it had a fail to up on Thursday. Friday, it got the bearish confirmation. So anybody that took this on Friday, you may wake up to a nice drop down to about 44.50, right? It's a very strong chance that you will see a nice drop like that on Intel. However, earnings are coming up, so there are a lot of excitable people that may be placing their orders on Intel. Again, it's going to be pretty expensive to try to front run. So this is something that I would only be interested in quick in and out plays. Trying to swing this, you may get caught up in it being a little more expensive than it needs to be. So even if it does make the move, it's possible that it may not, grow at the rate that you're expecting. I like to avoid earnings, right? Again, I don't want to ever discourage somebody from playing the market how they play it, right? Your trading style is yours. You do have to develop your own. But what I will say is that if you do decide to trade earnings, only ever do it size for zero. All right? I'm going to say that one more time. If you are ever deciding that you do want to take a risk on earnings, only ever do it size for zero, meaning that you are ready to lose the entire thing. For people that are new, what is sizing for zero? Sizing for zero is taking the amount that you would usually set your stop loss at. So if you're risking $1,000 and you would usually be okay with losing 20% of that in an effort to make more money, then $200 would be your size for zero. So that means that $200 is what you are okay with losing. So that means that you could take a trade that cost you $200 and you can just let that, ride to get the most out of your profits, right? You can do that for earnings because you might find out that earnings might reward you, right? But you also may lose it. But since that's your normal stop loss, it's not a significant impact. Some people call this taking a lotto. Some people call this, people have different, like words for it. But in reality, it is you taking like a much higher risk than normal with the potential to like 5x, 6x your money, depending on the outcome of earnings. So it's kind of like a slot machine gambling kind of situation. Um, but if you want to do it, that's the safe way to do it. Never do it with your full size. Never do it with any significant amount of money. Is not worth it. All right. So yeah. So Intel, again, this is a really simple one, right? The swing highs. If it can break below, if it can break above 50.50, I'd be interested. Let's go over to the left real quick because I know that Intel actually has some highs from like 2 years ago that it's looking to retrace to. So let's see what those are. If you ever think that, if you ever got an inkling that like a stock may be, you feel like the stock may be not at its high, like you got a question like, damn, is this the highest it's ever went? Obviously, you can Google the level or Chat GPT the highs of a stock, but what I would prefer you do is to look to the left, because when you look to the left, it's going to give you, a really good understanding about what's going on. So I've zoomed this out. A few years. So as you can see, this is the price action, since 2022, right? So it looks like the next level that Intel wants to hit is 51.33, right? That was the neckline of this essentially double bottom that was formed in 23 December. So the first level to the upside that it's trying to take out is like 51.33. All right. Now let's bring this down a little bit to see the potential of where it could go. All right. So there's room. You know what I mean? Even though, like I said, it came to this level right here, 50.50. So 50.50, and then right here, 51.50. There's levels about $1 apart. So this looks like it's rejecting off of that first level of 50.40, 50.50, right? 50.34. 50.34 is the exact level, right? That's where it rejected from, and we got the confirmation. So again, it could be coming down to this support area here before bouncing and then going crazy for earnings, or you might see a slight pullback tomorrow, because of news, and then a takeoff on Wednesday. And what I would be looking for is for it to break that 51.50. It does that. The next level is $52.89, $53. It breaks that. The next one is about it's about 56.15. So write those levels down, y'all. So to the upside, if it's already pulled back. So if it just breaks highs, right, 50.40, then we want to see it clear 51.33, right? It clears 51.33. That next level is going to be about 53, right? This little one right here. We can't forget about that one. So 53 will be the next level. 53, I like it above that level more because I'm always looking for things that just have more room. You want to get clear of the short resistances, right? When you see a bunch of resistance levels, like a bunch of like times where it like changed directions, you want to kind of wait for it to break through those. So if we're talking about like a true level that would give you the most reward to your risk, I would wait for a break of 53, y'all. Write that down. A break of 53 on Intel, then it has the potential, to jump, $3-4 to about 56, 55, right? 57, right? It clears that, then it could come up into this order block, around $60. So 53 is really what I want to see Intel break before I'm interested in the upside, or another thing that could really accelerate your rewards, or bend that ratio in the favor of the rewards, meaning you have more potential to make money than you have to lose money, would be it pulling down to this order block. So if we can pull down to this order block at some point this week, right, and form some sort of reversal, if we could do it after earnings, that'd be beautiful. If it happens before earnings, maybe, but I don't know if I would fully trust it. But if it happens before earnings, like a fail to down on here, or maybe like a bullish engulfing in this area, I would be very interested in swinging that. I would. Again, you're playing it during earnings, but you're playing it smart based on technicals. And again, you could swing it out a little further. It doesn't have to be weekly. It could be next week. It could be 2-3 months from now. It all depends on how much earning you're trying to do in a specific period of time. But obviously, the longer you have it out, the more the less riskier it is. So that's Intel. Intel has a lot of potential, but there's a few levels it needs to get through to the upside before it's clear. But again, if it pulls down here and does a reversal and confirms, then even it just making its way back to that level, you know what I'm saying, is like a $8 move, right? So a pullback is always where the money is. It's no better thing than something coming back and retesting and then confirming and deciding to take off. All right, so y'all keep that in mind. All right, that's Intel. All right, I think we got 10. We done did like 10 so far. We cooking. All right, Netflix is next. All right. How y'all feeling out there? Y'all feeling good about this week? If y'all are just joining, do me a favor and give this live a like. It really helps with the algorithm. It really helps get this out to the people that are seeking some simple and plain game on how to make money in the market, y'all. So I will never gatekeep information. So if you can just do me a favor and never gatekeep the like, that would mean so much to me. All right. It says 2025 Tesla, Meta, SPY, Palantir. Yeah. It said gold and silver. Google. You said Google. Okay. So y'all been making some money on these. Okay. Applied in SPX. I made mad money off of gold. Yeah. Listen, man, gold and got a lot of people some bags. Silver too. Like just metals in general. Metals in general, man. What's the level of that order block? Which one are you talking about, Liz? You talking about the top order block on Intel? It was $60. So that bearish order block at the top for Intel was $60, and the bottom one was about $42, I believe. Beta A Clay, what it do, brother? Yeah, I'm locked in these sessions from here on out. Thanks. Hey, listen, man. Hey, always, brother. Listen, if y'all lock into these, y'all'll be straight. I promise you. I promise you, because this is the thing. When you start hearing something over and over again, and you're implementing it on a daily basis, you're mastering your craft. It's that simple. I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story. Y'all know I like stories. It's gonna be short though. I promise. I'm not gonna go off too long. I know I still gotta do some of these levels for y'all for Netflix. But I started off trading with a group of friends. And I had one friend that kept trading with me. He's actually in the group. You probably see him in the group, Stone Age, Spence, whatever. But it was more of us, right? It was me, him, and like 5 other people. And we continued. We got the results. We made the money. The others kept stopping and starting and stopping and starting. And eventually, like, were okay with the excuses that they were coming up with, and they started to believe the excuses, and they started to believe that it was okay to like not show up. And now that years has gone by, you can see the clear distinction, the clear difference. So I tell you that story just to drive home the importance of how important just a little daily deposit of something is. A little daily deposit. That's how you win. That's how you master shit, right? We did the little push-up challenge in the group this morning. I woke up. I said give me 50. I think I gave y'all like 70. But who's counting? You know what I'm saying? Who's counting? I think I did like 73 exactly. But who's counting? You know what I'm saying? But who's counting? But it started out just deciding that like okay, I'm a just if I've been spending this much time not doing something and I know what my results are for not doing them, what happens when I just start to do them? Right? If you are not doing 10 push-ups a day and you literally start doing just 10 push-ups a day for the next few months, you will literally be like 20, 30% better or more physically fit than you are right now. And this applies to everything. So it's a little art, right? We trim away things that don't align with who we're trying to be, and then we just slowly add in things that do align with who we want to be. Well, matter of fact, no, who we be, that was a Freudian slip, but it's the right thing because it's who we are. You're aligning with who you are right now, right? You already are that person. So yeah, that was correct, right? You're just making sure that you are introducing things that align more with that person and just subtracting things that do not align, right? And when you're having a hard time subtracting the things, like really just ask yourself, what is my attachment to this thing? How do I continue to say that I want these things and I'm able to rest my awareness on the fact that this thing is not good for me, but I'm still doing it? That's just habit. It's resistance. It's your old self fighting for its life. When you see that happening, you just got to breathe through that, right? You got to breathe through that and release it. It is literally like an old you. It's a test, whatever you want to call it, just trying to keep you where you are. But every time I like to call it reward yourself. You know, if you look at the things that you're adding as like rewards, it starts to change your relationship with it. So it's like I get to get up tomorrow and I get to go and do my push-up routine. I get to go do, I get to go drink these juices that I prepared. You know what I mean? Because I said I want to be healthy. You see what I'm saying? Like it's like we say we want to be something, but it's just like, when do we really start to embody that? All right, I'm not going to wrap y'all up too much on that, but I'm telling you, once you start to, when it click for you, I promise you, I'm telling you this from experience, when it finally clicks for you, and you like, hold up, I be saying I want to do something, but I don't really be doing it. But when you really start doing what you say, and your words and your actions start lining up, then your life start lining up, then your vibrations start lining up, and then you just become this magnetic being. And then next thing you know, you got people asking you what you've been doing. All right? So let's keep it up. Let's keep showing up. Let's keep doing it. Whatever level you at. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whatever. He said, ain't no way you did this. Listen, man. Go watch the video. I promise you I did. It might, if it cut off a little earlier, here, this is what I did, right? If it cut off a little earlier, I probably cut it off a little sooner because I wasn't trying to I'm not trying to show off. I literally was trying to get y'all to do 50 push-ups. But I'm pretty sure I did at least go look at the video and count. It was at least 70 push-ups. Like it was 68. It was something around there. But either way, the point that I'm making is that just continue to add, right? Continue to add what aligns, continue to subtract what doesn't, and it ain't no way that you can't win. If y'all just getting in here, hit the like button for me, okay? It really helps out with the algorithm. It really helps get this video out to the people that need it. All right? Just went off on a little wisdom tangent, but we back. Let's do Netflix real quick. Listen, hey Adam, look, today, listen, matter of fact, when you get off this live, when you get off, the best time to start is always immediately. When you get off this live, just bang them out. Even if it's 10, like I said, if it's 10, and then guess what? Tomorrow you do another 10. So if you do 10 every day this week, right? Monday to Monday, that's 70. That's 70 more than you did last week. You do it for 2 weeks, that's 140 more than you did 2 weeks prior. and you just keep stacking those. And then what's going to happen is you're going to get in a little rhythm because we adapt, right? It's in our nature to adapt and adjust, adapt and adjust. So once you get that 10 down, you're going to be like, man, I can do 20. And then you might even throw some sit-ups in there. And then you might even start eating a little bit better and realizing that eating better makes the sit-ups and the push-ups easier. So now you're doing 50. And now you're eating better and you're doing more. And you know what I'm saying? It just, everything just worked together. All right, we back. Netflix. Let's see what Netflix has. Netflix is, let's see. Yeah, Netflix looks like it's starting to slow down a little bit. Yep, earnings are tomorrow. Who's in Netflix? Who's in Netflix right now? Let me see. Did anybody front run Netflix? Who took a lottery on Netflix? Compounding, exactly, Adam. Hey, QTZ, I'm telling you, stay at it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man. Like there is a beauty to doing something every day. You learn so much about how life works and yourself. Like even with YouTube, like I ain't know nothing about no YouTube until what 9 months ago. You know what I mean? 9 months ago, and we creeping up on 1.5K. You know, yeah, there's creators out there with much more, but I'm like that's not bad for just deciding to show up every day one day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's power and compounding for sure. You said you in a call. Hey, Darrell, you might be a rich man tomorrow. We gonna see, man. Lunch might be on you tomorrow, brother. We gonna see. All right, y'all keep liking this up, man. If y'all are in here, y'all haven't hit the little doop like button yet, go ahead and stop gatekeeping and hit that like button. All right. All right. So yeah, like earnings is really just gonna tell the story. So right now, like if you're not already in Netflix, um, again, we just got to see what happens off of earnings, because again, we could see a huge gap up tomorrow. Netflix, you got to think it's my guess is that it's going to gap up. My guess is that it's going to gap up, because it's fallen so much. Like matter of fact, let me see how much Netflix has fallen from highs. All right, we're gonna hit this ruler tool right here. We're gonna take it from this top line and then bring it down. Oh wow. Oh, Netflix is down. Y'all, this is a good leap. This is a good leap. It's not a bad leap at all. This y'all know I like to see 20-30%. This is 35% down. So yeah, I think the likelihood of I think the likelihood of this going up is pretty high. Um, yeah, I'm like it says Netflix shares fell 33% from their 52-week high as investors remain cautious about its bid for Warner Brothers Discovery assets following a lawsuit from Paramount claiming a better offer. Okay, so they basically are saying that there was some sort of like um, favoritism, some foul play when it came to which bid they accepted. But yeah, Netflix is down 35%. I would just go look at the books, do some research, look at the fundamentals, look at the books, look at all of that stuff, read some analysis on this. But anytime you see a solid company down 35%, and you know we're still in like a uptrending market, like this could be a really good opportunity. Um, so I do like that. I'm curious to see how it shakes out this week. But yeah, we'll play this level to level this week. But again, I want to see what it does tomorrow. I'm assuming earnings. They don't usually do earnings like in the morning. So I'm assuming it's like when the market closes. So I'm really curious to see like how it opens tomorrow, to see if people start buying it up. I would assume that a lot of people see that it's down 35% and are gonna try to front run and buy this up. All right. Yep. No, Liz, you definitely said that. You definitely said that. And that's why I was saying long term. I think I remember telling you this. Long term, I was saying yes. Long term, Netflix is definitely great. Um, but again, like it was coming down like this, and again, we don't know what's going to happen on earnings. But long term, Netflix is absolutely a good buy at this area at this level for sure. You said that's my plan at the earnings. Is that a falling wedge? A nice, yeah, yeah. It's a falling wedge. Yep. And if it can break out, I really like I said, I think I said this on one of the lives last week. If it can break through this level right here, right, 95, 96, that's where I really like it. You know what I mean? That would at that level it would still be down about 30%. Still and to have some momentum to the upside. Good opportunity to get in. All right. Y'all have any more? Y'all have any more y'all want me to look at? Any more stocks y'all want me to go over? Who in here is doing the juice cleanse? What's the top of that order block? Let's see. Which one are you talking about? This one right here, Liz? The the top of this one is, let's see. That's right where the top of the Bollinger Band is, and it's 95.50. Okay, hello. You already know. Yeah. All right, we'll do okay, hello. And then lift and coin. You already know. All right, let's do it. Let's do okay, hello. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so looks like we got a fail to down on OKLO. Also a nice pullback to the mean or the center of the Bollinger Band. So this looks like an ideal setup. And some may also call this a bull flag too. It's just about 50% of it. Yeah, I would call that a bull flag. This move is about it's still above 50%. Yeah, this is a beautiful setup. This is a beautiful setup. Whoever called this one, whoever asked about this one, this is beautiful. Put that right there. You can run the flag right there. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I like this, y'all. So, yeah, what I would need to see for this, oh, that's a little off. Let me widen that a little bit. It's really like right there. Yeah, that's really more like it. All right, yeah, yeah. This is beautiful. I like OKLO right up to highs. Target 115 on this one. Let me do the measured move on the bull flag. So again, y'all, this is a very fundamental thing to understand about bull flags. You just measure the flagpole. So what is the distance of the flagpole? That's the distance right there. All right. We're going to add that to the breakout. We assume the breakout might be somewhere around this area right here tomorrow or next day. And that could take OKLO to about 148.50, right? 148.35. That's what we got it drawn. And if you look, you'll see. Look, this stuff be lining up. Look, it lines up almost perfectly with the resistance level. You see that? It's just a little bit off. So it just kind of just depends on, where the breakout takes place. But again, we got a failed to down coming off the bottom of the bull flag. It's also taking place at the mean or the center of the Bollinger Band, which is a prime decision-making area. So what I would like to see tomorrow is just a higher high and a higher low, bullish candle showing a confirmation to the upside, right? That could happen. That could happen and it still be inside the bull flag. So that could be like a slightly earlier play, or if we just get a close outside of the flag, you know what I mean? Like I would be targeting 115, 116. So if you wanna take the confirmation tomorrow, so if we get back on here, tomorrow I get back on here at 11:30. So 10 minutes before the market, closes, after I get off alive, y'all could go back in. If we got the confirmation, we could say, okay, that's a go. Matter of fact, I'm gonna write down a lot of. I'm gonna go and review all of these tomorrow, especially the ones that we said needed confirmation. Okay, LO, I'm gonna star that one so that we could definitely revisit um, for confirmation. All right, but this could be a really beautiful play. So shout out to whoever called that one, whoever recommended that one. Really beautiful setup. All right. And then again, of course, I always want to give you the downside scenario. Obviously the downside scenario would just be breaking below that the center band. So if it breaks below like $85, I would consider this play this play trying to come down and possibly filling this little small gap that we have around $80. Okay, so downside scenario, which is not likely, would be a break below 85. All right, so keep that level marked as well, just in case. Um, and yeah, we'll update this, and we'll update this tomorrow on the live to ensure that everybody's getting in at the right levels. All right, so that's OKLO. All right, let's go lift. I thought I had lift on my watch list. I need to update my watch list, y'all. I haven't done that in a while. All right. P, what it do, P? You said the large one you have for Netflix. Okay. I'll circle back to it, Liz. You said the larger one. I'll circle back to it in just a second. P, what it do? Okay, you got it for Cortez. Perfect. Appreciate it. Either I'm learning how to read the strat. I saw it look good, but I wasn't quite sure. I'm starting to see the market more clear. Thanks for your teaching. Hey, for sure, Bay A to Clay, man. Listen, like I said, we here not to gatekeep. We here to really literally give y'all give y'all levels, give y'all opportunities to make money. Something that I wish that I had when I was starting out. You know what I'm saying? Something that a lot of people in this industry guard, so hard. You know what I mean? I truly believe that um, people should want to be a part of what you're doing. They shouldn't feel like they're being tricked into being a part of what you're doing, or that's the only way that they could win. I'm here to be a vessel. I'm here to share. And if y'all getting something out of it, that's a win right there. And if y'all want to come mess with us in the Prosperity Collective, even more of a win, right? Let's see. You said, do you have time for one more? Love double one bar on a daily. Okay, yeah. We'll do love. That'll be the last one. I'm gonna go revisit Netflix real quick. Or okay, so Cortez got you out the way. Okay, perfect. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go do Lyft, Coin, and then Love, and then we're gonna shut it down. We're gonna shut it down after that. All right. I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. Again, if y'all just now joining, make sure y'all hit that like button. Don't gatekeep the like. I will never gatekeep the levels. All right, hit that like button. Yeah, and let's keep it going. We about to go on the lift right now. All right. So lift is not lifting. Lift is falling. You know what I mean? Lift is dropping. Um, so yeah, it had a fail two up on Thursday, which is a strong reversal signal. Cracked below that, broke below that level, but it also is sitting right at a support level. So there is a chance that we could see a bounce. But again, if the whole market decides that it wants to come down tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a lift, come and even test 1694. All right. So if you're already in lift to the downside, then you could have some luck on your side, when the market opens tomorrow. But also be cautious of them trying to create some sort of pump fake to the downside. But again, if we get confirmation below this level of 1833, then it could come down to 1694. So just make sure you got those levels written down. And again, if it breaks 1694, then this order block is the next form of support, which is between 1471 and 1542. So just keep those levels, in mind for reversal, or a target to the downside, but also reversal, to the upside, right? And again, y'all, this becomes so much easier when you get this indicator. If you're just now joining, you want to make sure that you add this order block detector indicator to your trading view, right? It's going to make your trading so much easier. You're going to be able to spot opportunities before they happen. You'll also be able to plan what you're going to do when these stocks do get down to this level. So you could be day trading for weeks and making your daily goal, hitting your $100 a day, $500 a day, $1,000 a day, whatever your goal is, right? And then you could be putting some of that money away. And then when you see it come down to a level like this, a beautiful bullish order block like this, or up to a level like this, and then you have 2 to 3 other confluences, maybe you can put a little bit more money on it. You can go a little heavier and really reap the benefits of getting in at a level with smart money, right? So the whole game is like preparing for the big opportunities. Make the base hits during the week, but always be preparing for bigger moves, bigger opportunities. And these order blocks usually help you, point that out in the market, especially when you're looking at them on a daily time frame. All right. So that's Lyft, y'all. Let's go to Coinbase. Coinbase got a special place in my heart, man. Coinbase, one of my favorite setups of all time, was the Coinbase cup and handle. Not even from the amount of money that was made, right? Because there have been other plays since then, but it's been it was the fact that the setup was it took 3 years. If y'all follow the my shorts, I talk about it. I talk about the cup and handle that took 3 years to form, and and finally hit, like that. All right, so Coinbase, we got a fail to down on Friday. All right, so we could see some upside. It's not like, oh my God, screaming, amazing setup, because again, it's in a tight range. So this is pretty tight in here. So yeah, we could definitely see this retrace, up to 251. That could possibly happen this week. But again, the range is pretty tight. So the moment that it does get up there, it will be facing immediate resistance. So yeah, this is something that you could play on an intraday basis. I wouldn't necessarily swing this, but I'd be curious. I mean, I'd be interested in playing this, up to about 251 if you can catch like, a breakout tomorrow on like the hourly or the 30-minute, right? So a confirmation would be a higher high and a higher low tomorrow. If you want to play into that confirmation, meaning, you know, you see that the confirmation is forming because maybe it broke out on the 15 or the 30-minute orb, excuse me, then that'd be a good trade intraday. But with it being in this range, I wouldn't want you to get caught up in like decay, like time decay. So this is not something that I'm really excited about. I get excited about coin when it breaks out above here. When coin can get above like 285, 286, then we got room to push up into like 330, 325, 330. So yeah, above this level is when I would really love Coinbase. But down here, I'm too afraid of more consolidation, right? I like trading breakouts and like things that either breakouts or pullbacks into a breakout, things that have a lot of upside, a lot of potential. I don't really like getting into like, and you shouldn't either, right? When you this is mess. This is like traffic. The same way that you wouldn't want to drive in traffic, you shouldn't want to trade in traffic, right? We like when it's open road. We call this open road right here. When it gets above that, that's open road right there. You see all this? Open road, open road. This right here, traffic. We try to stay away from that. All right? I hope this is making sense to y'all. Again, y'all, if you just joined and welcome, I appreciate y'all. We have a group called the Prosperity Collective, okay? If you want to, get this information on a consistent basis, you want to be connected with like-minded individuals. I know a lot of people, I've seen a few people in here talking about how, they don't have the friends that are willing to, go the distance with them, right? It's just how it's set up. Matter of fact, that's the reason that I created this. Like, I mean, yes, I have friends that are doing extraordinary things, but sometimes when we set off and we set off on a journey that's unique to us, people be having their own stuff going on. They got their own lives, right? You need to be connected to people that have a very similar focus, a very similar goal, so that y'all can help each other. This is going to help you get the mastery. This is going to help you become that trader that can get the ones that wasn't trying to lock in with you to start trading. You see what I'm saying? Not by you talking, but by your results. All right? So I appreciate y'all, like I said, locking in. Hit that like button. Don't gatekeep the like button. Like. Do. All right? Y'all gonna hear that in y'all sleep. Nah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, that Lux Algo fair value gap. Yep. The order blocks. Lux Algo, I just recommend their indicators in general. 100%. All right, so that's Coinbase, y'all. And the other one was Love, right? LUV. Was that it? We ending it on Love, y'all. How aligned is that? We ending the live with Love. I just put a smile on my face, I ain't gonna lie. We ending the live with Love. Southwest Airlines. All right. All right. Okay. We got Southwest pulled up, aka Love. Indecision. Failure to the upside. Yeah, we could see this come down. It has a decent distance to come down to, right? A little bit of a range, right? But we do have this area right here, right? We do have this area right here. So this could be cool to the downside, right? But again, where would a better opportunity be? A break of this level here. Like when we can get below all this traffic, look at how clean this is. This is what I want y'all to start understanding, right? Look to the left, right? When y'all are considering stocks, when you're thinking about what stock you want to get into, just look to the left. You want to see as if so whatever direction you're going into, you want to make sure that you see the opposite of that direction, that color, right? You want to see a lot of that color. So if you're thinking about catching a reversal to the upside, you want to find yourself in a position where you are entering where there's a lot of the opposite color. So if we can break these levels here, there's a lot of cleanup that has to take place in here down to the next level of support. So this area here is way more money that can be made than there may be from here to this support level right here. You see what I'm saying? So yes, we can play these levels intraday, get quick scalps, price action and stuff like that. But when you're talking about really making money, you just got to find areas that got money. This is what the institutions are doing. They're like, okay, yeah, like where's everybody else getting in? Where, you know what I mean? Like this has to be cleaned up, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be immediately, but if we do get a break into this area, like we get rid of this bullish order block, like we have sellers that can take these institutional buyers out, then this would be where the money is, right here, right? Right now we have an indecision candle followed by two more indecision candles, which are dojis, which to me says consolidation, and we can continue to see consolidation, just inside of this range right here. So I'm not too fond of love until it breaks down outside of this order block right here. Like until we can get a break below. I mean, but yeah, if we can get a break below like $40, so like $39.50, we get a closure down there, I'd be interested in it to the downside. In order to be interested in calls, it needs to break above $45. So what I'm saying, in just simple layman's terms, is that these order blocks need to be wiped out before I make a decision about which direction, because it's consolidated. It's in a tight range. It's indecisive. There's nothing here that says like excitement. Let me go to the weekly. The weekly might tell a little bit of a different story. Okay, so the weekly is telling me that this wants to come down more. All right, we got this inside candle after this bullish candle the week before last. Last week we got the inside candle. We could see this come down. If we can actually get a break below 41.50, then that may signal it will come down and test this order block area, which is the same on a daily, right? So that's what I would be watching for. But again, I'm more excited about like the big moves, right? When we're talking about swings. So this right here, this up here, right? Breaking through these levels. That's what would excite me when it comes to that. All right. So that's it, y'all. We wrapped. I've been on here rapping for almost 2 hours. But I truly appreciate y'all, man. I truly appreciate y'all. Yeah, listen, that Duke gonna be in y'all head. I'm telling you. Just Duke. Listen, hit the like button. All right. If you on here right now and you haven't hit the like button, like I said, it don't take but like literally as I'm doing it right now, y'all could be doing it. Sometimes you gotta ask yourself, if I'm on a live and somebody giving me all this information and I haven't taken a moment to give them a like, what's wrong with me? You got to do a heart check. Like, what resistance do I have within myself that I can't extend my hand and hit the like button after being on for so long and receiving all this amazing information? Might want to check in with yourself. I'm just saying. All right. It's always love over here, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I want to see y'all do well. Listen, I will see y'all in the group tomorrow, 6:15. Y'all know how we get down. Straight bangers this week. Me and Zay gonna tear it up. For everybody else that's new, if you don't have a trading home, the Prosperity Collective is the way. The link is in the description of all of my videos. So what I'm saying is go watch all my videos and hit the link, right? Watch 2, hit the link. Watch 1 and hit the link, right? Just make sure you hit the link. All right. Again, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a beautiful week. We about to go crazy this week. I'm trying to tell you, I'm calling it right now. All right. Remember, invest smart, live free, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.